And today is day 4 of our 40 days challenge. And I hope and believe that many of you are already seeing changes in yourself. And you see, it's not tasks for you to actually uh, do them in a physical way. It's everything here in your mind. It's a way, it's a wake up call. It's a way that you go deep inside yourself and search for things and new things for you to learn. So it's not really about tasks, it's more about, working on your inner beauty inside so you can be really the way that God wants you and me to be, right? Today I want to speak something very important that God has revealed to me this week, last week is still up in process in my here in my head. It's still in process. I believe that as time goes by, I will he will reveal, he will show me more stuff about that. And for this, I have a friend of mine who is going to be here right now. She is actually in Ireland. And why is she here? Well, she's not physically here, she's here by Skype, as you can see. Her name is Aline. And why am I inviting her? By the way, this is the 4th time that we are recording because every time something funny happens, the iPad falls, I say the wrong day. It's just really hard to record this video today. But she's here because, you know, she has found out something about this together. We have found out this together. God has revealed this to us. And is as new for me as it is for her. And she has this subject very close to home because something was happening in her life which was impeding her to move on, impeding her to, to grow because of this thing that she was doing and that we do and you do as well. You know what it is? Tell us, Aline.
Well, hi to everyone. Well, what happened to me was that when I first got married, I moved to the UK, where Nanda is right now. And when I got there, I realized that I was one of the youngest pastors' wives who were there in the UK. And when I looked around and I saw all those other pastors' wives who were already there, who were already in the work of God, who were there in England for a long time, I began to compare myself to them and see that I wasn't not even close to being like they were. And that became a really big problem for me because I started to doubt that I could even be the way they were because I would look at myself, would compare myself to them, and would see that I was not like them. I would see all those qualities that they had, the experience they had, and I would really just think that I would never be able to be like them. And the problem began when I started comparing myself to them. There's nothing wrong when you look up to somebody and you want to be like them, but you must find a limit there. And that's what I didn't find. I would always look myself down, put myself down, because I would look at them and I wouldn't believe that I couldn't be one day like they were. Because the gap, the difference between us was very huge. And for a long time, I didn't believe in myself because of that. I always thought that I wasn't good enough. And with that, I didn't develop. Just like Mrs. Nanda said, I wouldn't grow, I wouldn't shine, I wouldn't make the difference because there I was, always putting myself down. I didn't believe in myself. And it all began when I started comparing myself to the other pastors' wives.
And I was thinking because when we when God revealed this to us, I was really, there are things that is not immediately. You have really to be thinking about them, right, Aline? You have to be looking inside yourself. You have to analyze situations. You have to go back. You have to start looking. Am I comparing me all the time? Am I doing this? Did I do this in the past? So is it still something in process in our heads, in our minds still? And I found out that I do this a lot, and I'm not the only one. And I was praying, I was talking to God, and I was saying like this: my God, this is so unfair, because it's our nature. It's our nature. We do this. How can we not compare ourselves? Is there gonna be a time where you will never again compare yourself? I don't believe so, because it's part of your nature, of my nature. It's part of who women are, you know. And men are not like that. You see, men hate being compared. Men really, compare him with your father, compare him with your brother, with the other guy. Compare for you to see. He doesn't like, they don't like men in general. Of course, there are exceptions, but in general, they don't like comparisons. They don't like to be compared to other men, and they don't do it. They don't compare themselves with other men, usually. So, how can we overcome this thing that is so bad to us, that it puts us down, that makes us lose power? It makes us lose power, you know? For example, if I compare myself to someone that I admire, and I keep on comparing, every time I think of doing something, I will do like this: oh no, I'm not gonna do that, because she will do better than me. Oh, because she's so much better than me in this. No, what's the use for me to do anything about it? This is the idea that comes to our mind. Oh, I'm going to speak about this. No, but she's gonna speak something better. She's gonna say something, more important than I would. You are always putting yourself down. So when God sees an opportunity to use you and use me, you know what we say? No, so and so would do better. But God didn't call so and so to take that action, that attitude. He called you. But you're not gonna do it because you think so and so would do better. And as Aline said, there is no problem in having someone to look up to, as long as it's not, it doesn't start being something bad to us. And so many things are coming to my mind now that I don't even know where to start. But every time we do this, we lose strength. Is the weapon the devil uses to neutralize our strength. For example, what is the strength of the young ones? For example, Aline, she came to England and she was so young. What was her strength? Her youthfulness. Her youth was her strength. And that's what God wanted to use. But she started seeing her youth as something bad other than something good. So that it is. The devil putting in her mind that she was too young, that she didn't know how to do things, the older ones were better. With this idea, he stopped her to doing things that could have been so profitable to his kingdom. And this is what he does. He tries to find our strength and make it look like our weakness. Because, for example, we have a friend that when we were talking about this, she said the opposite. She said, look, the devil was working on her strength with her youth. And with me, it's because I'm older. And sometimes I compare myself with the younger girls. And then I keep on thinking like this: oh, the younger ones, They know better about computer. They don't know better about the other stuff. And she started feeling as if she was not important. She was not, she wouldn't add much. Because, what is the strength of the older? What it is, Aline?
Their strength is their maturity, their experiences. They don't make the same mistakes over and over again because they've learned with their own mistakes.
That's it. So, their strength is their maturity. It's because they are older. But the devil works on their minds with these comparisons because, you start comparing yourself with the younger ones. And then he neutralizes your strength. And this is what comparisons do. You compare yourself. When you compare yourself, it's always two results. Or you're going to fall short and you're going to feel bad. Or you're going to feel good, but then it's a not so good thing. Because, for example, when you feel superior to someone because you are comparing and you think, oh, I'm better than you. Is this some kind of a good thing? So I don't see anything good coming out of it. And as I was praying, I was telling God, my God, it's unfair. And God showed me what is so fair about it. What is fair about it is that only using the gift he gave us, which is our faith, that we can overcome these thoughts. Is it going to stop? Is it now you're going to say like this, Aline, you're going to say, oh, I'll never compare myself again. Is that? Because when you are not watching, the thought will come. But you need to use your faith so you will destroy this idea. When you start comparing yourself, you say, no, it's tied up. You go, my God, I don't wanna be comparing. This is wrong. This comparison is wrong. So you go there, you neutralize what the devil was throwing at you to neutralize you. You revert the game, You change you change things around. And faith is the only way that you can neutralize this weapon the devil has been using against us women. Because we do that. It's so unfair. You get a magazine and you see those super women at the cover with full of makeup and full of plastic surgeries and full of Photoshop, computer retouches. And you compare yourself to that. It's so unfair. But sometimes you don't realize that you are doing that. And it's only with the use of faith, with the using of faith that you can neutralize. You can say, no more. No more comparing, no more looking at, if I look at her, I have to compare myself, so I'm not going to look anymore. It's like another day. Actually, it was last year. I noticed that every time I would look at those magazines when I go to an appointment, or when I would buy some of those, OK, and those kind of magazines, I would always be, my mind would be filled with things that were not good. You know what I did? I said, never again. I'm not going to buy these magazines again. I'm not going to see these magazines again. I want these magazines out of my life because this is not good influence to my faith. So I'm using my faith. I'm protecting my faith. I'm protecting myself and my beliefs. And that's what we need to do. We need to be really aware of that. And there is a verse, Lini. We have less than a minute. Can you just say where the verse is so they can meditate on that?
Yes, it's in Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 4.
Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 4. See?
Do you want me to read?
No, we don't have time. We have only 1 minute left. You see, God, when He chooses, He doesn't see your age. Be it young or be it old. It doesn't matter for Him. You have to make it not matter for you too. All right? So this is our task for today. You know what you have to do. See you all tomorrow. Bye-bye. Bye, Lini. Thank you for being here.
Welcome. My pleasure.